what's up, how's it going? If you watched yesterday's video, which is like the super vlog thing, which is the past 5 days, and you actually liked it, please let me know in the comments for that video, or this video, whatever. Give me some feedback, because basically I want to know if that format kind of worked. I don't think it's terrible. I think I could improve it for sure, because it wasn't really like one consistent narrative, which I guess it doesn't have to be one consistent narrative, but it's kind of like more like a summary. Even though the video is kind of long, each day was pretty short, I think. Anyway, we're gonna get started because I'm very excited to start to work on my project thing again, and I don't have a name for the project yet.
Is it recording?
Yeah, I think so. I also wanted to mention very quickly before we get started that I finally got this tripod, which is, I'm using it now. It's the nicer bendy one because this one's basically broken. It like doesn't support any weight. And then I also got the like extension thingy. Where's my water? How's it going there? Today I'm like, you know, some people do drugs or whatever. I just go to movies. I'm going through like withdrawals right now. I haven't gone to see a movie. Actually, I saw The Purge, but it wasn't a good movie, so it doesn't count. Minorly cold water, my favorite. I haven't gone to see a good movie in theaters in a long time. You can watch a good movie at home, sure, but I don't think it's never like the same as going to see a good movie in theaters. What are you doing? But for right now, I'm gonna try to work a little bit on my movie. So I actually don't. It's been like 45 minutes since I started this, because can you stop? Stuff started happening behind me, people were talking, so now they're gone. I'm here, we're doing my thing. No, you can't sit on this. Midnight! Anyway, so I have this stuff, I have this whole thing here. What I decided one thing that very much interests me, the kind of movies I like way more are just like average, everyday things. So I wrote about Bo Burnham right here, if you guys remember in the last video. It's probably been like 3 weeks or something. He struggles a lot with anxiety. He just made a movie about anxiety, about an 8th grader in the last week of 8th grade, you know, struggling with the world and anxiety and stuff. And I listened to a whole thing with him. I always say, I listen to a podcast, whatever. I listen to these things, it, you know, gets the ideas flowing. It's other creative people. I don't have people I collaborate with that I actually like see and know. So it's just like stuff from other people. It's movies that I see. It's people that I listen to. It's like, I don't know. So, you know, my feedback isn't coming from some dude sitting right here. It's coming from someone far away. It's talking, and then I hear it on the internet and stuff. So I listen to this thing. It's very much on the subject of anxiety, and I kind of realized that this movie is kind of about my anxiety in a different way. He made a movie about his sort of anxiety with the internet and all that stuff, his feeling of anxiety now, and projecting it onto a 13-year-old girl. And my anxiety is kind of this feeling. Before I thought I was just like scared or nervous, I realized it's basically the same thing as being. Let's look up the definition of anxiety. Anxiety. A feeling of worry, nervousness, or unease, typically about an imminent event or something with uncertain outcome. A desire to do something typically accompanied by unease. Boom, there you go. My desire is to make movies. I am very scared to do it. A nervous disorder characterized by a state of excessive uneasiness or apprehension, typically with compulsive behavior or panic attacks. I think I've had like a couple panic attacks. It was a while ago, and it hasn't been like recently. I haven't. But my personal way of kind of coping with my anxiety, has been doing this stuff. So in one way, it makes it very present in my mind, which is difficult because what I used to do is I would totally not do anything. Like last year, the reason I didn't really do much until I like forced myself to do this was that I was very scared to do things. When I was actually making things, it would kind of put it in my mind. It would be like, I'm thinking about this stuff, so I'm very scared because I don't know what's going to happen. I don't think I'm going to be successful. Anyway, you know, you kind of get it. Like, I wouldn't do anything. I wouldn't think about it. It's all good, right? No, because I'm not doing anything, so that I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm not doing anything. I'm going to be like, my chances of being successful are even less. When I'm actually doing things, I feel way better. When I'm being productive, I feel great. When I make a video I'm proud of, that's when I feel the best ever. Seriously, it's like my entire mood is determined by this stuff. I need to turn on the fan. It's really hot. Sorry. So my anxiety is both kind of triggered by doing things and also eased by doing things. Because I'm more anxious when I'm not doing anything, because I'm like, oh my God, I'm not doing anything. I'm never going to get there. But when I'm actually doing things, I'm thinking about the fact that I could be unsuccessful or something. So it's like, I just read right here where I wrote earlier, I lack confidence. So I think it's kind of a combination of anxiety and confidence issues. Maybe would that be the same? I don't know. I need to take, oh my God, why? I'm wearing this sweater because I think it looks good, but I mean, now I can't see anything, but I'm wearing it because I think it looks good. But I'm really hot. I can't do this. Oh my God. I can't take it off either. This shirt's like tight. Like I need to go back to the gym. I know this shirt just makes me like a little more conscious of that fact. So what I was getting to at one point, I don't remember. I like went off track a lot, I think. I like movies a lot that are very character centric and very much not about like an extraordinary event, just kind of like everyday stuff. I think I've talked about this before. Like Lady Bird, not about something extraordinary. I don't think 8th Grade is. I'm very excited about that movie. I can see it next Friday. It's out in Phoenix next Friday. Also, I haven't seen it, so I can't tell you, but just go watch the movie. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Bo Burnham, Elsie Fisher. The trailer is so good it's like a masterpiece. I probably watched it. Oh my God, I'm off track again. Yeah, so Lady Bird, not about something extraordinary. Manchester by the Sea, not about something extraordinary. Those movies I could talk about a lot, kind of, because they're movies that I very much like a lot. Very much kind of impactful to me. Manchester by the Sea was kind of one of the movies that I saw and kind of helped me figure out the stuff that I like, I guess. It was when I was kind of beginning to get into film, so I guess that's why it impacted me a little bit more than some other movies had. Yeah, so I think I want to make this movie that I'm making here very character-centric also, because I think that it fits. It's what I like. I believe it would be the right thing to do. Like, let's think about this. This is the whole the whole thought process part of this series. It's literally just me trying to figure out a thing, and also I'm talking to a camera, so I'm just speaking it all out loud. I thought about, when I was coming up with this idea a little bit, me, Earl, and the Dying Girl, because the main character in that movie, it's not about like this at all, but he makes a movie in the movie, and I was thinking, am I in the movie gonna make a movie? So is the movie, because like I had the idea of what I want to talk about, I don't know how I want to talk about it, basically. So that's kind of the next step of kind of getting there. Because before I've had like how I want to talk about something, but it's not really like this is this statement I want to make. This is very much about something that's important to me, and I need to figure out how I basically want to tell that story in a way that would make someone like you or someone that does not watch these videos very interested in it. So I think that I had this story that I may have told before. I came up with an idea for a movie my sophomore year of high school. I really liked the idea. I came up with it when I was reading an issue of American Cinematographer that I got from this guy that brought this issue. It was about, they had an issue, article on Manchester by the Sea, which is another reason why I talk about this movie a lot, because I came up with an idea from it. Why do I keep yawning so much? I got like 5 hours of sleep. That's why I'm yawning so much. So I came with this idea. I was very excited about it. I was like, okay, it's going to be the summer. It was very character-centric and very much just like an average thing. I wanted to make it a feature length. I was working at a restaurant at the time. I knew a film critic who would always come into the restaurant, and me and oh yeah, so I was like, in the summer, I'm gonna make this whole movie. I was like, I'm gonna make it, and the guy was like, you should make a short. You don't know what you're doing, make a short. At first, I was very hesitant. I was like, you don't know what you're talking about, I can do whatever I want, stuff like that. And then, basically, for a while, I didn't really do much, and then I was kind of like, yeah, I probably should do a short, because I don't know what I'm doing. My thought is that something will be as long as it is. Sometimes I think it's very good to kind of set time restraints so that you actually like get all the information in there and like quickly. But I think that if you need the space, you should use it. What am I doing? I'm not even talking about the same thing. It's a good thing these videos are edited is what I'm saying, because otherwise they'd be very long. The whole summer I did nothing. I don't think I made a single video, let alone that movie at all. Long story short, I didn't do anything. And that feels very bad. So, because this movie's kind of about my experience. Does that mean that it has to be exactly what's happened to me? No. Like, for example, 8th grade is about Bo Burnham's current anxiety. He's like 25. The character in the movie, Kayla Day, is like 13 or 14. I don't think that it has to be with someone my age, but I think at the same time, it makes sense to be someone kind of my age with my anxieties and with my uncertainties, with all the things going on, because part of the thing that gives me anxiety is I think I use that word too much. So one of the things that kind of makes me very intimidated is that there are people much younger than me that are very successful already. I don't know if there are like directors that are as young as me making like films and stuff. But there are like actors, like you think of like the cast of It, you know, these people are doing so much. They're very successful already. They're very young, like 14, 15, maybe even like younger. Say you were a track athlete, pretty darn good, but there are a ton of people like way better than you already. So you're trying to get to number one, say you're not even like world ranked. There are all these people that are like as old as you, younger than you, or whatever, you know, but very talented. You're starting from nothing. You have to like get noticed amongst all of this. It's like these people are already doing stuff. What am I doing? It's like I didn't know that this is a thing that I wanted to do until, or like I didn't think that I could ever actually maybe do this. But it's like so many, these people figured it out so young, like Steven Spielberg. I am told stories all the time. Like my mom used to tell me all these stories. She's like, yeah, Steven Spielberg used to go out with like his siblings and they'd shoot like little films on the streets of Phoenix because, you know, we live in Phoenix, stuff like that. Anyway, yeah. To me, that's not as much motivation to go do something. It's like being intimidated by the fact that these people are already doing stuff, that these people are already steps ahead of me, that like I have so much catching up to do, basically. It feels like you won't get there if you didn't start, like how, like say you wanted to get into like a big film school like USC, UCLA, NYU, you know, whatever. You have to submit a portfolio. In case you didn't know this, you have to submit a portfolio of, I believe, for USC, it's 10 things. It's 10 things or 10 minutes. So I think you could send in one short film that's 10 minutes long, or you could send in like 10 little things or something. I don't know. Do I have 10 things that I could theoretically send in? Sure, yeah, I do. But I didn't when I was applying to colleges and stuff, and I was very intimidated by the fact that you had to submit these portfolios. People had been working for probably years. They probably had this experience. They probably knew what they were doing. They were good at editing. They were good at shooting, directing, writing, all this other stuff. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't even know I wanted to do this until like barely a year before, and then I hadn't done anything for like almost everything I've done has been this year, since the first of the year. I had made maybe like 7 videos. Maybe if I'm generous, it's like 15 videos total before this year started. So like, sure, I kind of knew what I was doing because I taught myself to edit and all that stuff, but I didn't have experience. And I mean, now it's like, yeah, sure, you still don't have experience. You're just making internet videos and sitting on a chair talking to a camera. Yeah, sure, but I'm doing a thing at least. It's like my thought process is, oh, these colleges are expecting that people have like 10 minutes or 10 good, they have like 10 short films, you know, by the time they're already going into college. So it's like, I should also have that. Like, that is what's kind of required to make it. I know there's not requirement, like someone could get into film at like 70. There is not like a set thing really. It would probably be hard, but you could do it. My thought is like this standard is set. It's like these are the things that you have to do to become a good filmmaker. That's like what it feels like. It's like, oh, you got to go to film school. You have to get into film school, you have to have these 10 short films by the time you're like 17. You have to know before you're 17 for long enough to make 10 short films that are good, like, what are you supposed to know what your profession's gonna be when you're 11? That's so stupid. But that's my anxiety. It's that I'm not gonna be successful because I didn't know that. Think about Phil Wolfhard. He's very successful. He has a band, and he's also a very successful child actor right now. Is that an anomaly? Sure, but that doesn't help me. I still feel like I'm like freaking out over here, dude. I don't know what I'm doing. What was I even going with this conversation? So yeah, I want to make my movie very character-centric. How did I even get there? Oh yeah, so it's like, in my experience, I think that it would fit very much to have my character be around my age. Because of those things that I was talking about before with like people being younger and having to be sure of what you're doing so young and stuff. Like, I think it's very stupid. But it's something that I feel is expected unfairly, and it's very much made me nervous and anxious and stuff like that. We're actually going to get back to the brainstorming stuff. I'm sorry if this video is long. If you care about this stuff, you will watch the video. If you don't care, you won't watch the video, and I figure that that's why it's okay if this video is long, because it's not just like an average thing. My movie, I think, would be okay to be about my experience. Or very similar to my experience, having more aspects of my experience, because the thing is that it fits with my age, so maybe a bit younger. Maybe when I started doing that stuff, like maybe I was talking about the idea that I came up from Manchester by the Sea and stuff like that. Maybe it'd be around that age, which is like when you're applying to college and stuff like that. So it's like around 17-ish, like junior year of high school. When you're expected to be applying to colleges, basically like towards the end of the year, so you're supposed to figure that out beforehand, have all your grades be good, know what you're gonna do, know what your major is. Everyone's asking all the questions all the time. Now I'm less affected by those questions because I know what I want to do. People are like, oh, so like, what does that mean? And I'm like, it's this thing. And they're like, oh, because I guess they probably think that I'm not gonna be successful, so they don't really like. Maybe it depresses them or something. Yeah, it stressed me out a lot when I was unsure of what I wanted to do. People are like, "Oh, what do you think you want to go to college for?" I was like, "I don't really know." So I just think that the way that kids are treated about the future is very unfair. I think they're expected to be adults in situations where they don't. No one knows what they're doing. I mean, nobody ever knows what they're doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm talking about like I'm so smart and whatever. Technically, sure, I'm an adult, but at the same time, I'm a kid. I don't know what I'm doing. Do adults know what they're doing? Probably not. So let's start writing that down. So today's video, I guess, is based a little bit more on character. We've established literally like one thing so far. Like two things maybe. This whole like thing that I liked was it's like having a crush on a girl and wanting to tell her because maybe she'd say it back, but instead being too scared to tell her because maybe she wouldn't. I like it. I don't think that it would fit as much for being a 17-year-old. I feel like that character would be kind of lame and you wouldn't really... I feel like you would relate to them when they were young. I don't know if it would work as much when the kid is like 17. You might just be like, ew, gross, a 17-year-old boy. Oh man, that's something too. Maybe it's not a boy, maybe it's a girl. Let me just think. Let me just think. I feel like what I want to talk about is my personal experience, is me, but it's really about my feeling about this whole... It doesn't have to do with me being a dude. It has to do with me wanting to make movies and being too anxious to really do it. I think that could apply to literally anyone. I don't think that it matters if it's a guy or a girl specifically. I do want the message to not be kind of clouded or distracted by the fact that, say the character's a guy or a character's a girl. I wouldn't want like the viewer to be like focused on them, like nostalgia of them or like preconceptions kind of them. I don't want it to be, I wouldn't want it to be like you feel bad for the guy, you sympathize for the guy because he's a loser or something, or he has anxiety and stuff like that. Or I wouldn't want it to be you feel bad for the girl because, oh, poor her, she doesn't deserve this, she's pretty, and whatever. I don't know. People have dumb feelings. that's not that important. I want to figure that out. It's not going to happen today. I feel like I view movies in a way that is different than a lot of other people view movies. So I don't know what people's like preconceptions of seeing a very anxious kind of 17-year-old guy or a anxious 17-year-old girl. I don't know what the difference would be. Obviously, I'm a guy, so it's like I would think that I would do that because I guess that maybe I could relate to that more or something, but also I don't think that's necessarily true. I don't want to make the character me. I think that would be very lame. I don't exactly know yet the story that I want to tell. It's very much a feeling. The movie is a feeling. I want to give that feeling very much. I want to portray the anxiety well. Want you to understand that it's something that this person really, really cares about, like deeply. That is what matters to them so much. Oh my God, that's what keeps them going every day, but they can't do it. It's like, you see those like romances where it's like, oh, these two people love each other so much, but they are held apart by their fathers or something. It's like Romeo and Juliet or something. Like, for whatever reason, you understand that because there is a literal physical force that's like, no, you can't. But for me, for this scenario, it's I'm the thing holding me back from doing the thing that I want to do, which makes like no sense. It's like, why would you hold yourself back from doing this thing? You're the one that wants to do it. I know. Do I look like I'm happy about it? I'm very thankful to have the experience that I've had because I don't know. I mean, it's gotten me here. But I have this idea, and I feel like I can actually write about it. I'm excited. So I wouldn't think that I'd be qualified to write about this if I didn't have this feeling, or it would be ingenuine. So we've established today. We've established a little overview. What have we established? We established the thing I want to portray, the feeling. That's the main thing that's important to me. Age of this character. We already knew that this character wants to make movies, and the anxiety is what is stopping them from making movies. I think that it would be interesting to kind of do the thing that I went through, which is I came up with this idea for this movie. I was like, oh yeah, super hyped about it, and then not doing anything, and then kind of like that realization, that like inner turmoil, realizing how this is kind of affecting them. Anyway, those are the things that we established today. I'm sorry that this video was long. If you were interested and you are still interested in this whole project thing, please let me know down below. Either way, I'm still going to make this because this is a thing that I'm doing and that I'm very interested in. If you're not interested in it, that kind of sucks, but that was part 3, character. See you tomorrow!